Hey everybody, I am coming making this video message, and I want to talk real quick to the single people. The reason why I'm making this video message is because once again we are seeing a lot of different men and women give out a lot of toxic information to the single community. And one of the most common pieces of toxic information a lot of them are putting and spewing out is the fact that if you're dating somebody, don't always answer their phone call or don't always respond to their text messages. I am here to tell you, especially those of you who call yourself a man or woman of God, stop playing games with people or a person that you're dating or talking to. You all have got to stop doing this. You are too big and you are way too old to use this type of time to play a game with somebody to where they don't know where they stand with you. Things were not this difficult and hard back then when you liked somebody. Years ago, I'm going to say a solid 8 to 10 years ago, it was a time that when you were attracted to somebody or you liked somebody, that was just enough. That was literally enough. You did not have to have all of this money. You did not have to have this big major job where you're bringing in over $100,000 or $200,000 a year. People were not focused on whether you had kids or not. People were not in the single community back then. They were not trying to embarrass and shame any man or woman that had children or they had kids but had never been married, or at one point they were married but now they're divorced. Back then it was simple. If you like somebody, you simply just like them. All you knew is that you wanted to be with that person. Just think about it, guys. Before you all react, before you all try to come into my comment section and jaw jab, literally just sit with that and think about that before you're quick to respond. Think about how simple it was. Like I said, my number may be off a little bit, but I said 8 to 10 years ago. But let's say 15 years ago. It was not this difficult in a single community to date somebody. It was just you saw somebody that you wanted, you saw somebody that you liked, or you saw somebody as a woman. You may have seen a man that you were attracted to and you were giggly around him and you made it known, or maybe one of your friends went and told that guy, hey, my girl likes you. Hey, my cousin likes you. Hey, my sister likes you. And that was enough. And then that man went forward and he may have made it known, I like you too. Or he may have said, well, I didn't know you like me, but you know what? Give me your number. Here's mine. And from there, they would meet up, simple date. But it was okay to do the simple things. I'm here to tell you all, whether you want to take my advice or not, a lot of you all need to get back to the simple things. You are bitter and you are unhappy being a single man or woman because you're playing by a carnal and toxic rule book within the single community that is being taught, and it is being influenced by people who are carnal and in the world. A lot of these people don't have the Spirit of God in them. They are not coming from a biblical standpoint. They are not coming with a spirit of integrity. They are not. And so whatever carnal ways that they have, whatever disgusting ways they have, if they are a seductress, like I talked to you all about in the witchcraft video, some women, when they are single and they're dating, they are only getting as much attention that they are from men simply because of how they look and how they dress. They highlight their beauty. They highlight the shape of their body. And see, the deep Christians, the ones that don't want to hear just the plain truth, they will try to turn that around and say, well, if you don't agree with how somebody dresses, you probably out of shape or you probably jealous. This is why I always say that many men and women of God in the body of Christ, they are master manipulators. Nobody wants to listen to sound doctrine anymore. Nobody wants to just accept and receive and just mull over plain 100% unadulterated truth. They want to add everything else to plain certified truth. They want to accuse the brethren. Oh, this person is jealous. Oh, that person saying that about how women dressing provocatively because they jealous, they fat, or they out of shape. Oh, this person bitter. Oh, this person jealous. Oh, this person mad because they're old. They hating on the younger people. Oh, that person bitter because they ain't never been married. Oh, that person over there got 6 kids. I have to tell you all every day, none of you all are perfect. Stop flattering yourself. Where you as a man may look at a woman who has children, that woman, again, I said it several times last year, and other messages, fellas, I say this in love and respectfully. That woman doesn't have to apologize to you for any mistakes she's made in her life, or she does not have to apologize to you for living her life the way she did up until you stepped in it. You all got to understand, a lot of you all, you're coming in on a certain chapter of that man or that woman's life. How dare you try to shame them for different things that they did? You don't know what level somebody was at before you stepped into a particular chapter of their life. Somebody could have been in the level where they were very spiritually immature. Maybe at that time when they were giving birth to children out of wedlock, maybe they didn't know scripture. Maybe they didn't know God. Maybe they were in the world. How dare anybody look at a woman and say, she's damaged goods, don't date her? You don't know what rank that woman has in the eyes of God. You don't know how God views that woman. And women, when you do it to men, I say the same thing to you. How dare you shame a man who doesn't have a job that he's making $100,000 or $200,000 a year? How dare you? How dare you look at a man that works at Target or Walmart? How dare you? If that man has a job and it's a legal job, why are we adding a bunch of extra stuff to it? A lot of you all will say, oh, well, I'm not going to date down. Somebody may look at you where you're on a high horse and you feel like your body on point and you pretty and you got your degrees and your money, and they may feel like dating you, they're dating down because you idolize yourself. You idolize yourself aesthetically and material wise. But believe it or not, ladies, for those of you who do that, all of you all don't do it, but for those of you who do that, it's a lot of men. They don't want to date you. You are not dateable in their world. Not a real man of God. A real man of God that has the spirit of the living God in him, he would shun himself away from that type of woman. It has nothing to do with him being jealous of that woman. It has nothing to do with him being insecure. It has nothing to do with that. You will be looked at as problematic in that man's life. Because if you are showcasing your body and you're leading with your booty, how can he trust that if he got into a relationship with you and you all are on the rocks or bumping heads, that you will not begin to do that to get another man or have that other man on the side? You all really need to start thinking about this stuff. And this is why I say, stop listening to these influencers and these people who are telling you, oh, ignore that person. Don't respond to their text message. Oh, if this person don't make this amount of money, they're not dateable. You listening to a lot of these women who are coming up, like I say all the time, on these podcasts, and they're cussing like sailors. They're calling women the B word every other word. Oh, you bees, they don't do this and they don't do that. And you all are influenced by them. And that spirit that's in them, it transfers to a lot of you all. And then you begin to talk about women and label them as a B or as a H word. You begin to not have respect for men. When initially, before a lot of you all started listening to these people, you didn't have an issue dating a man that had a normal, regular life. You just simply respected a man that was making money legally. You didn't care if he worked at a hot dog stand, if he worked at Target, if he worked at Walmart. You didn't care if he worked at a car lot. Some of you all, you got to get back to the simple things. You are frustrated. And I don't even know how many of you all I'm talking to. I'm going to say a solid 10 of you all that's viewing this video message. A solid 10 of you all. You are bitter and miserable because the wrong spirit has gotten into you. You are too busy and you have gotten caught up and deceived by somebody in the world trying to tell you games that they play with somebody that they dating. And they're projecting that on you. And because you're open, and when I say open, just meaning you're just vulnerable, you take that word for word. You put a lot of stock in it, and now you're trying to apply that to your life. But I'm here to tell you, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. You're going to keep finding yourself back at square one. The same thing I said for those of you want to have sex outside of marriage. And I literally don't care how people feel about that. I still say it in love. There's no way you all can keep going to bed with these people and you really think you're going to have a husband or a wife. And all these kingdom spouse people, they need to tell you the truth. You really think God's about to bless you with a husband or a wife and you sleeping with every Tom, Dick, and Harry? It will not happen. Some of you all, I said it before, you all can't even be faithful to the one that you dating now. Some of you all, you're juggling several people at one time. You can't even be faithful to them, but you want God to send you a husband or a wife? No, ma'am, no, sir. No, ma'am, no, sir. It's not going to happen. A lot of you all, you've got to do some internal work. And once you do that internal work, once you do the mental work, once you do the spiritual work, there's a man or a woman out here that would see that. They would see it through the Spirit, by the Spirit. That's the time that we living in. A season of exposure. Exposure is not always negativity getting exposed. People will see you by the Spirit. They not caught up on how you look. They not caught up on your money. They will simply know by the Spirit, you know what, that's a good woman. You know what, that's a good man. And if God gives his green light on you, it doesn't matter what all the other naysayers are saying. Stop playing these games with people that you all claim you like, or you're interested in, or you're telling somebody you love them. When somebody calls you, answer your phone. When somebody text messages you that you're dating, you need to answer that phone. If you call them and they are not answering, or you text message them and it's going on consistently where they are not responding to you, then you need to take that as an indicator. That person may not be into me like that. They probably don't like me. If 1 minute they're calling you and they're texting you and you all are vibing and having fun, but then out the blue they ghost you, then that's another indicator, or as they say, a red flag, that maybe that's not the man or woman for you. You can still pay attention and not be caught up and in the dark about who you're dealing with. Pay attention to this stuff. But in my message, I'm just telling you all, stop playing games with people. Life is short. You don't have this type of time. You don't know if that one man, ladies, that you're talking to, or that one woman you're talking to, fellas, you don't know if you would get that opportunity again. You don't know. Some things, it only comes once in a lifetime. And once you are in the presence of somebody and you are not genuine with them and you're busy playing games with them, you don't know if God will close that door and they will never come to you again. And later down the line, you see or you hear that they got somebody that genuinely cares for them and loves them and respects and honors them. Time out for the games. Again, it was simple back then. When you like somebody, that was it. That was enough. If that person came and picked you up and y'all had a picnic, or you all drove to the beach and played your music, or you went out with a couple of friends, you went to a movie, or you let them come to your house and you sat on the porch and talked to them the entire night. You all talked the entire night. They may have come to your house. If you trusted them and you knew them a little bit well, you let them come to your house. They came to your house at 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Next thing you know, they didn't leave till 11 or 12 o'clock at night. It was simple like that. And I know a lot of you all that's immature and that's real goofy and silly, you'll laugh and be like, that ain't the type of world we live in. Ain't nobody doing that. No, just say you're not doing that. Just say it's goofy for you. It's not goofy for everybody. It's goofy for you. And see, a lot of you all that had this mentality, a lot of you all, this is why you have no success in potential relationships, because you're caught up on what the world is saying. You lack integrity. You lack it. You lack doing things God's way. You keep trying to develop relationships and maintain marriages and maintain friendships and even maintain your very relationship with God through carnal ways. Getting information from carnal, toxic people. You all better watch who you out here listening to and what you're watching, because I'm telling you, those spirits will transfer right through that phone. And next thing you know, you walking around here pissed off and angry, and you don't understand why. Who are you listening to? Who and what are you watching? Listen to people that's telling you the right thing. Stop playing with people, because if somebody plays with you, you won't like it. Even if it does turn out that they played you and they told you a lie or they didn't treat you right, just make sure you held up on your end of the bargain and you were 100% authentic and real with that man or woman, ladies and gentlemen, because God is going to reward you. But if they are lying to you while you're dating them and they're playing the game with you, trust me, God will deal with them. They will get dealt with. For the rest of their life, until they straighten up, they probably will continue to go in circles. Sometimes people out here, they be a player for so long, they play games and manipulate and lie for so long. And one day they look up, they in their late 40s, they in their early 50s, in their late 50s, and all the games that they played, nobody is good enough for them. They make a complaint about every single man or woman that God have sent their way. And then one day they wake up and literally they on their deathbed. Or they find out they have a terminal illness. And then they start to overlook their life. Like, I've been lying all this time, playing all these games. Now that I really want to be real, I don't even have the chance or the time to even be real now. Because now my time here on earth is limited. Y'all don't think like this, but you need to start. You need to start. That's the video message. Well, guys, it's time for me to go because I have some other things to do. The Lord willing, I will be back with another video message. If any one of you have taken offense to anything I spoke about in this video message, it's okay. It's all right. I'm not worried about it. I am not concerned because I know you will forgive me in the morning.